Good afternoon, Tom, Negotiating with Jesus. Mark chapter 11. I'm in a different place, sitting in my little recliner with something behind me. Who cares? Mark chapter 11. Now, as they approached Jerusalem, near Bethphage and Bethany, at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two of his disciples and said to them, "Go to the village ahead of you. As soon as you enter it, you'll find a colt tied there that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' say, 'The Lord needs it and will send it back here soon.'" So they went and found a colt tied at a door outside in the street and untied it. Some people standing there said to them, "What are you doing, untying that colt?" They replied as Jesus had told them, and the bystanders let them go. So that's interesting, at least. A little prophetic, a little kind of magical or miraculous, and very small miraculous. Then they brought the colt to Jesus, threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it. Many spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread branches they had cut in the fields. Both those who went ahead and those who were following kept shouting, "Hosanna," which means save. That's my commentary. "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest." So save us, or save. The highest call of saving is for this kingdom of David, which is promised to the Jews. And Jesus is a Jew, and this stuff is happening. And it's crazy, and it matters to them. They have history. They understand what this means. It's crazy. Then Jesus entered Jerusalem and went to the temple. And after looking around at everything, he went out to Bethany with the 12, since it was already late. Now, in some of the other texts, he may chase out some money changers, some people who are trading Roman coins for temple coins. And so the people can buy animals for sacrifice, sacrificial doves, or maybe a sheep or something. Jesus didn't want the temple to be a grocery store or a place for money to be exchanging hands. Now, the next day, as they went out from Bethany, he was hungry. After noticing in the distance a fig tree with leaves, he went to see if he could find any fruit on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. Now, this is one of the strange stories. There are all kinds of strange stories. It's all strange stories. So if you find things you don't understand, no kidding, you and everyone else. Some people explain this if you look up people's thoughts on it. It was not the season for figs. He said to it, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard it. What? He just cursed that fig tree. What? Then they came to Jerusalem. Jesus entered the temple area and began to drive out those who were selling and buying in the temple courts. Okay, here it is. He turned over the tables of the money changers and the chairs of those selling doves, and he would not permit anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. Then he began to teach them and said, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations'? But you have turned it into a den of robbers." The chief priests and the experts in the law heard it, and they considered how they could assassinate him. Yes, which is crazy in its own right. You find someone who's doing good and is zealous for the law, we must kill him. For they feared him because the whole crowd was amazed by his teaching. You won't be amazed by anyone's teaching but mine, so say the Pharisees. I am the one who must amaze you. And they weren't that amazing. They might have been highly educated and generically amazing, like all the preachers maybe were generically amazing. until they were introduced to truly amazing. And then it was a game changer. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out of the city. In the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered from its roots. Peter remembered and said to them, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered." Jesus said to them, "Have faith in God. I tell you the truth. If someone says to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen, it will be done for him. Believe and you will receive." And this is some strange thing that people don't understand and misuse and all kinds of things, because these stories are strange. For this reason, I tell you, whatever you pray and ask for, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Now, that is an extraordinary promise. Whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven will also forgive your sins. Now, tied to whatever you ask for will happen is if you forgive someone, he will be forgiven. So those two lines are right next to each other. Does one affect the other? Do we have to forgive to receive? Is forgiveness the thing that Jesus is saying we should pray for? They came again to Jerusalem. While Jesus was walking in the temple courts, the chief priests, the experts in the law, and the elders came up to him and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you this authority to do these things?" Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one question." This is fantastic. "Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. John's baptism, was it from heaven or from people? Where did he receive this authority?" "Answer me," Jesus says. They discussed with one another, saying, "If we say from heaven, he will say, 'Then why did you not believe him?' But if we say from people," parentheses, they feared the crowd, for they all considered John to be truly a prophet. The crowd considered John a prophet. End of parentheses. So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." Then Jesus said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I'm doing these things." Jesus was tricky. He was tricky. So that is chapter 11. Jesus enters and starts taking charge of the temple and surrounding area, teaching people, and the teachers of the law, the Pharisees, don't like this turn of events at all. They have got to assassinate this character. That's it for today.